Season 29, War 10. Got a Vision Arcus here on Hazard Shift. Taking this fight a lot. The main thing to pay attention to is his tenacity. I think this Arcus was only a 40 sig, so he doesn't trigger it too often, but at 200 sig he triggers it 100% of the time, every 9 seconds I think, or something like that. So I let the Incinerates and his Cold Snap charge my binary, and I get that indestructible buff for 12 seconds, so then I'm just getting free willpower healing. Try to bait his special 1. I don't really like his special 2, but use an invulnerability boost in case he decides to be stingy with specials, and holds it for a special 3. And I lose more health than I normally do here, but it's because I'm running mid-level boosts. And then the second fight here is a Stealth Suit Spidey, which I actually think he's better on the first node, just because when he triggers his evade and gets the power gain from the defense tactic, he can actually build past a bar of power, whereas on this node it would take a very long time because it's power focus 1, and he would have to not throw a special for that entire time just to be able to reach a special 2. And even then, I'm not sure if he actually would. I know Airwalker can on this node, but that's because he has passive power gain, I believe. But I've noticed that on this node, champions tend to not really like to throw their specials that often unless their name's Airwalker. This guy throws them quite a few times in this fight, though. But my main goal is, in the beginning, I was like, I'm going to keep removing his evade charge. But as the fight went on, like right about here, I think, I was like, you know what? I'm not really going to worry about the evade charge anymore. It's in Incinerate mode. I'm going to parry heavy, throw my special 3 now that it's switched over to poison. This chunks him for quite a bit. And then after this, when it switches back to Incinerate, I'm just going to stick to parry heavy. And up until that point, I'm only going to hit him while he's stunned, to try and just avoid triggering the evade whatsoever. I want to keep my binary up because I'm going into an Elsa fight after this with Sparkles, and I want to be able to trigger it relatively quickly in that fight without taking too many hits on block. So that's why I'm just sticking to parry heavy, because you get 3 binary charges back. And if you happen to hit 25 again, like I did there, I get my indestructible back, which is pretty cool. There, I was waiting for something like that to happen in the fight. So when he evaded like that, I was ready with my special 2. Was actually pretty happy with that move there. But in this Elsa fight, something happens that hasn't happened to me in a long time on this node. I'm trying to bait a special 1. And so I go to Dex back because I'm trying to leave myself open so she throws it. And the input recognizes it as a parry, even though I was trying to Dex. So it stuns her, which reflects the stun back on me, and I get hit quite a bit. Back in Season 23, it's my second season in Masters, that happened to me a lot on these nodes. And I died as a result of it. So from that point on, I try to Dex from a blocking position as much as possible because my finger's already on the screen, so I don't have to worry about the game thinking the input was me trying to parry. And I also maxed Limber out, which is, yeah, it was right there, which is beneficial for multiple fights. So all fights, actually. If you get stunned, it helps so much, but on these nodes, the stun is pretty long, and I take the encroaching stun mini quite a bit, and the stun's long on that one too. So here we have a Dragonman. I think this is the 3rd war in a row I've taken this fight. It's a pretty cool fight, but I've done it so much now that it would be nice to have a little bit of variety, I guess. Although I know why they put him here, because you have to stun him to remove his power charge unless you feel like baiting specials, and if he happens to get stingy and throws a special 3, he's going to be unblockable for a little bit. But after this, I have a Mysterio in Section 3 on Power Focus 1 and Unblockable Special 1. And Sparkles just melts that fight. So this war ended up being pretty close. We were leading for a little bit, and then they were leading for a little bit, and then they ended up matching us in deaths. So they had finished, but we still had quite a bit of time, and we sort of changed game plans a little bit to try and make some fights faster, and guys boosted bigger to make the fights faster and whatnot. And we ended up coming down to an R4 Doom boss, and we had plenty of time to do it, and we did it and we won. But I do still think that the system has to change. It was nice to be on the winning end for once. This is our 3rd tie in a row, and we lost the prior 2. But I do think the time could be used in a manner to award a different set of points to each side. So maybe measure the time that people cleared with, unless there's a better way to measure the performance of one alliance over another in a tie. But for discussion purposes, we'll say stick with the time for now. And if you tie, the alliance that was faster gets 15k points, and the alliance that was slower gets 10k. I've been encountering this a lot this season, so I've had a lot of time to think about it. And the more I think about it, the more the ideas kind of morph and change. And I do think that that is a good way to do it. Originally, I had said just split the win bonus, but I do think there should still be some incentive in a tie war to do better than the other team in some form of a measurable category. And bar there being a better one, I think time is the placeholder until a better one can be found. But that's all she wrote for this war. Hope you guys enjoyed the video.